This is the Patriots Prayer Podcast. It's a tremendous show, one of the greatest shows in the history of the world.
This is Bryson Gray, and you are watching the Patriots Prayer.
Soon on the Patriots Prayer Network. Thank you all.
America's falling, they all say. Gather the faithful now and pray. The Patriots Prayer. The Patriots Prayer. All the wicks are trimmed, oil is filled to the brim. I have been changing somehow. I'm the radical now. America's falling, they all say. Gather the faithful now and pray. The Patriots Prayer.
There it is. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? And
So, guys, look,
shout out to McGroin Nation for tuning in. If you guys don't notice, my background is a little different. My office is also the spare bedroom for guests. And so we just had a guest over, and I have not had time to make everything look pretty again. So this will just have to do for now. It is what it is. But
There's
we
nothing
had a
wrong
pretty
with
good weekend.
You're not wrong with your background, brother. You got the little doorway thing right there with the silhouette deal. It looks fine. It looks absolutely
it's not
fine.
bad. Yeah.
It's fine, dude. You'll be fine. So
Yeah, I got the same headdress. Support our rights. Love the Indian. So the
you can't say Indian. No,
oh yeah, that's racist. The face is like a Halloween decoration that just fit perfectly up there, and I wanted to display the headdress that I wore with Holden Armenta. And then shout out to Raging Cajun, who made that chest piece for me, and for Holden Armenta. He's got one as well. So it's just a couple pieces of wood that I put there, and yeah, no dot. It's the feather kind of Indian, not the dot.
Not the dot one with the spicy food.
Yeah.
Hey, come and ask you a question, because I don't, and my people eat the same food we ate. Is there separate Indian cuisine in your tribe? Like, because back east, there's just the same food everyone else eats. There's not like a Native American cuisine. Like,
well, we were coastal Indians. I mean, we still are technically. But
seafood.
So, yeah. Lots of seafood. We're the people of the water. So,
yeah. Good evening, Leslie. Hey, so guys, just to update, Dragon and Buckeye are the mods for the Patriots Prayer Podcast, and Dragon is now on the team. So, guys, we appreciate everything you do to help us out, for sure. Outside of that, one more update. I got an email here from Apple, and they have approved our podcast for subscriptions. So, guys, if you're an iTunes person, please go get a subscription on iTunes for the Patriots Prayer. We got them everywhere. You can also get it at Podbean as well. We have a Patreon over there at Podbean, and of course you can always become a member right here in Rumble. We reached out to Chris Pavlovsky today, and hoping to get a reply from him. First of all, I'm intrigued by Rumble. I'm intrigued by the parallel economy thing. I'm intrigued by the First Right platform versus what we see on other platforms. I don't want to call them out by name. I'm not going to shoot myself in the face. We're streaming there right now, but you get what I'm saying. And I would just love to sit down and have a chat with this guy and just kind of hear what he has to say and where Rumble's heading and so forth. And hopefully he gets back to us. That would be a really neat conversation. Outside of that, guys, we're going to be talking Of course, we're going to give you some updates on the Red Pill Palooza event that took place this past weekend. Couple of bumps in the road, but it was all in all very successful, great deal. I'll save the story for the end because we're gonna wrap it up at the end. We're gonna go through all of it. I don't want to get into it right now, but outside of that, guys, we're gonna be talking about Republicans for Harris, and we're gonna be talking about the pro-Palestinian groups seemingly going after Tim Walz and Kamala Harris as if they're on two different teams. And we're going to kind of expose some of the shenanigans that are going on there, the optics, because it's not real. They're not on two different teams. Now, off the top of your head, without being studied, without going through all the BS I just went through right now, and if you were to make an argument, Maurice, about the pro-Palestinian groups that are tearing stuff up right now in Chicago and shouting threats to Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, what argument would you make to say this is BS? This is all fake. What argument could you possibly make without actually having all the details? How could you reason that they're not really on opposite teams?
Well, it sure seems like they're allowed to be there. The media downplays them, and the media is the same ones who back the Democrats. They play favor to these people, and they set up a show every time where they will put up barricades, and these people will tear them down. And every time there's not a big focus like there was on the January 6th rioters, right? I mean, we've been hearing about January 6th every day for the last 4 years, or I guess 3 years now, 3.5. But these people who are there protesting the Democratic Party as if there's actual opposition to it.
Why do you imagine
why?
Mm-hmm.
They're told to be. They're in
what's the desired effect is what I'm saying is when I say why, I'm saying why would they do it if they know they're literally on the same team?
Oh, to create the idea that Kamala Harris and the elite Democrats are moderates. It's to give this false identity that the rioters out there are the zealots and they're the crazy people, and the Democrats inside, no, they're the reasonable moderate ones that everybody can get behind, even though they're probably funded by the same groups, they're backed by the same groups like the media. They're on the same team. It's to create this optic that the Democrats themselves are reasonable, moderate, suit and tie types that have the interest of the American people and the Constitution in mind. It's all a show.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's a show, man.
So I did a little bit of digging, right? I didn't go too far. I didn't have to. Essentially, it's like this. I went into, did some digging on the news networks across the board, Chat GPT, Grok, and the rest. And I basically said, who's funding these groups? Who's funding the pro-Palestinian groups? I got several names back. Soros being one, Bitzker being the other.
Wait, really quick. Alex Soros is at the DNC right now, by the way. He's there being buddies with them. So it's hilarious that you bring up Soros because he's on the inside, but behind closed doors, he's the one paying for all those protesters to be on the outside.
Exactly. And you can look that up, guys. Please fact check me. Anything I ever say on here, I welcome you to fact check me. And I'm not saying and if I'm wrong, let me know. I'll eat my words and I'll learn from what you say and grow from it. But I'm telling you, I've done the research. Soros is paying these people. BlackRock is paying these people. Not only is it BlackRock paying these people, but it's the Rockefellers are paying them as well. All of these same groups gave money to the campaign. So they're funding both sides of this pretend conflict. And then, you see, well, let's take a look at some of these. I got some clips real quick here. Check it out. So just imagine that, right? Imagine this is no different than J6, guys. This is zero difference. You hear him shouting out threats against the vice president. It is exactly right, Dragon. It's a damn facade. They're shouting out threats against the president, terroristic threats. This is not a typical protest when you do that. If you or I say something that it can be construed as a threat against the president or vice president, we will be welcoming a visit soon thereafter from the Secret Service, from the FBI. This is allowed to happen. It's just like Maurice said, this is all allowed to happen. It's for optics. It's to make you think they're on two separate teams, because it's very easy to prove they're not. If you take a look, I'm going to throw some names at you guys, and you can look these guys up. Assad Zaman, he was described as someone Tim Walz called a master teacher. So who is Assad Zaman? He spent time, according to X Zaman, he's got an X account, has been linked to controversial statements such as idealist, but not directly involved with Al-Qaeda members. So there's an indirect link from Tim Walz to Al-Qaeda with people that he claims are master teachers. This is the same guy that lived in China, says Chinese people are great people. And he wasn't talking about the people either. He was talking about the government. And then you have Shadi Zaza, right? Zaza, the president of Rama Worldwide. It was involved in fundraising for Gaza. And his organization was collaborating with the Islamic Heritage Revival Society in Kuwait. So here's another person, another radical that he's connected to. Yusuf Abdi Abdul is mentioned as having a direct contact with Tim Walz, and they're both connected to a group called the Islamic Association of North America. These are the people that Tim Walz and Kamala are attached to. So when they're out there shouting and these types of things are going on, it's bullshit, guys. It's all bullshit. They're lying to you. They are absolutely lying to you. I mean, go ahead. What's your take?
They've been lying to you. They create this. You know, there's actually something kind of interesting about this. And if we look throughout history, if our government, the deep state, wants something to happen, they like to create a false flag, an event of some kind that would trigger certain emotions from the populace.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if these guys are paying for the protesters to be there, I mean, for sure there's going to be radicals that join that are completely that have no idea why they're there, but are there because they're paid. They're not directly paid to be there, right? Like, they don't go out to each protester and say, hey, here's $100. Why don't you go and protest? No, they have these groups that they pay for to, like Antifa, and they gather enough people that fall for this crap to go out there and be the face of the movement, right? But what a better time to have a false flag event than something like this, right? Where you're paying for the protesters to be there, and you want to make an example out of them, and you have a terrible candidate in Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. I mean, this, to me, it spells disaster. I don't see it ending well. But, I mean, just the fact that the simple research that you have just done on Tim Walz and his connections to zealots around the world, fascists, communists, I mean, you name it, he's got connections with them. The policies that they're running on is straight up communist. I mean, they want to fix prices. They want the government to control grocery prices. They want the government to... It is unbelievable that they are actually running on this platform. That's why I don't believe they actually are. And an event like this would be a perfect opportunity for them to take advantage of a false flag. Yeah. I'm not saying it's going to happen,
But they're going to try to garner sympathy, the same kind of sympathy they believe came Trump's way after a failed assassination attempt. Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
I mean, that's exactly, and we're on exactly the same age. Guys, we didn't set this conversation up ahead of time. So
No.
it's a fact. And then you have the other wild, thank you. Appreciate you, baby. So you had to bring me something to drink here, but little Raider water. Not a Raiders fan. Not at all a Raiders fan. But then you have the Republicans for Harris, right? Republicans
Oh God.
for Harris. All right, I'm going to just give you guys a little bit of high-level info on this group. They're funded also by George and Alex Soros.
No.
They're funded, believe it or not, right? Also funded by a lot of anonymous donors as well, just people that gave money just as anonymously to this group. Then you have
the
foreign
same as Act
donors.
Blue, where people made donations that they didn't have the money for and have no recollection of. It's the same
You're
exact
wild.
thing. All these anonymous people, definitely not the Soros again. It's not BlackRock. No,
Yeah.
it's anonymous.
But here it is. Guess who I was just getting ready to say the name of the next group that gave money. It's Act Blue. Act Blue is funding Republicans for Harris directly. Now, let's talk a bit about Act Blue. We'll talk a bit about the Lincoln Project as well. The Lincoln Project was linked to a group. They're a group that was linked to soliciting minors for sex online. Right. This is a fact. They were caught red-handed. So I don't even know how they're still around. I don't even know how they're still a group. I have no idea. They all claim to be former Republicans as well. But nobody that is a conservative can give up their values. Now I can say if you're a conservative, you might lean to the middle a little bit if you really don't like someone and take the lesser of two evils. But in this case, there is no lesser of two evils. You have two people that are full on telling you we're communists. Embrace your socialism. We love China. We don't like walls. Mass immigration on an illegal immigration is fine. We don't care. We like seeing our cities burned. We will contribute to funds to pull prisoners out of jail who rioted. I mean, I'm not making this stuff up. And direct funding for these groups are coming from the same groups that are funding the opposition, seemingly funding the opposition in Act Blue. Who was it? It was O'Keefe, right? O'Keefe.
Yeah, that exposed them? Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, the
So-
OMG, which is...
How did he do it? He looked up the donations, and like if you or I gave $100 to Act Blue and as a donation, they maxed us out at the $3,000 range, and without our knowledge. But then they're taking that. So the question is, if they're Russia, places, Iran, things like that, right? Hypothetically,
Is it
I'm just
all right? I got a question for the viewers here, because
Mm-hmm.
my internet is total trash. Is Eddie frozen or is it my internet? Because I don't know. My internet's complete garbage. I'm blurry on half the podcasts. I have to get. Okay, it looks like you're back, but it could be. Oh, it's
I was
not me.
never on.
Look at that. Yes. DSL for the win.
I was gone.
Yeah, you still are. You're frozen. You're drinking Raider water right now in a blur.
Wow, that sucks. It doesn't come
See?
across from my side like that. But guys, listen,
Yeah.
we've already gotten tagged in messages that say that we're being watched.
Yes, actually.
Real talk.
So I've had
real talk.
I've had a couple people reach out to me, not only over X, but in my personal life, stating that there's been some fishy activity happening. So I don't know.
And I'm plugged into my internet, and I got over 1,000 up and about half of that down. I should be killing it right now. So
You have 1,000 up. So you have what is that? A gigabyte? A gigabit?
Yeah.
I don't know the
Yeah.
difference.
it's
Yeah. Okay. I have a 2 to 4 megabit upload rate. Okay. Between 2 and 4. That's it. His is over 100 times. He's over 500 times faster what it's supposed to be, but you're still frozen. You're like,
and I'm using a fiber optic router. So
ah,
yeah, this is ridiculous.
gotta go old school, guys. Get the DSL. You might have to leave the studio and
Did
come
you
back.
just say DSL?
Yes, that's the only thing I can get out here, man. And it's like not even top tier DSL. The fastest internet I can get is, I think it's it says up to 40 megabits per second, but in reality, the highest I've ever recorded is about 30, and that's download speed.
So
Upload speed.
I'm going to show you this. You see it?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm killing it on internet speed, bro. Like it's the upload that's killing me right now. I don't know why, but my upload is tanked. My upload is tanked, but it's all right. That makes no sense, does it? The only way that makes sense for you techies out there, and which I'm a technician. The only way that makes sense is if there's a ton of information being sent out from my computer.
They're stealing your info right now.
They took our jobs.
They took our dudes.
But no,
yeah, your internet's trash right now. Just
I'll
saying.
I'll fix it.
Bro, if I do that speed test, I'm about to get real blurry, guys. Let's see.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna have a blurry pot. We're gonna be Bigfoot from now on. All right. That's what we're gonna be Bigfoot. We're just gonna be a big blurry face. All right. Let's see how this goes. And yeah, we're doing it right now. Okay, we'll allow it. Oh, here we go. All right. Well, I'm so glad I pay. Oh, Chris's world. What's up, Chris? Where's he at? I'm not seeing him. Eddie's frozen again. I'm gonna remove him. Dude, my internet's garbage. Look at that. Here's my internet speed, guys. Am I blurry yet? Yeah, let's hit 2. Come on. We're climbing. Oh yeah. All right, I hit 2. There we go. Look at that. 3.67 download, 2.03 upload. That's DSL for you, baby. That's what. But I'll tell you what the benefits are. I live in the woods. I have acreage, and I got a trail that I can drive my truck in. My dogs get to go out and play in the woods. So does my sons, or both of my sons. And I have privacy. It's definitely worth it to be blurry every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but am I back now?
You're blurry, at least to me, you are. So
I am a little blurry on this side, but it's because it's resetting. It'll come back to in a second. Well, yeah, let's get back to it. So we were talking about Republicans for Harris, and these groups kind of popped up out of nowhere. Right? They did. They just kind of all of a sudden. When's the first time you heard about Republicans for Harris?
Very recently.
It was like maybe a month ago or so.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If it's the same thing like when they have Democrats for Trump, right? Except for there actually are Democrats that are voting for Trump. I believe that when they have these get-togethers with Republicans for Harris, I believe that what you're getting are a lot of leftists showing up to these events to see who the Republicans are that are voting for Harris. And as a result, when they all get there, they're just all a bunch of leftists, and no one knows who the former Republicans are, and the events look bigger than they actually are. Because there are no Republicans that are voting for Harris. If you're a Republican voting for Harris, please contact us. We want to talk to you, like genuinely.
Hey, and really, if you're a Republican at all, I want to talk to you as well. Stop calling yourself a Republican. You're not. You are a citizen of this country. Republicans are the representatives. Stop calling yourself a Republican just because you agree with the Republican representative at that point in time. Right. You're a citizen. You're a private citizen. They are public servants. Don't associate yourself with the public servants. Because
Now, if you're running
once
for
you-
office and you actually hold a card, that's different.
yes, I agree. That is different. That's why Trump ran as a Republican, because he knows that the Republican Party, I mean, it is almost impossible to run as a complete independent with the way our system is set up.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, we got Chris's World here. Wait, that's
What's
not
going
him.
on,
Oopsie.
dude?
But that is
him?
Chris. That's Chris DL. I saw somebody bring up Chris's World, but I don't know where it's at. That's Chris DL.
So what happens, and I noticed this, guys. I don't know
Oh.
if you know it, but in Rumble, their screen names will be different than what I've seen in StreamYard. It's weird. It's like if they're watching us on X or they're watching us on Rumble and they're comment. This is how Woody has two screen names in the same chat. Does it all the time. Matter of fact, where the hell is Woody? That's weird. Not
Okay,
to see
so
Woody.
Doubted Views, is that Chris's World?
Yes.
Ah, what's up, Chris? Love that guy.
that's-
It's been a while since I've talked to him.
Yeah, he's Doubted Views is one of the things he has set up on X for sure.
Cool.
You know what?
Chris,
In retrospect,
next
I wish
time-
we would have had him out to the Red Pill Palooza event.
All right. Well, I'm glad you spoke over me because I was just about to say that, Eddie. That's
You missed
exactly
it, Chris.
what I
We had
wanted to
an
say.
Airbnb with a stripper pole and everything. It was crazy.
There's no stripper pole.
Well, something like it.
Technically, yeah. So I mean, what we've been talking about this whole time is just showing you that what you've been seeing on TV at the Democrat National Committee right now,
Head pains.
it's all a
Head
show.
pains.
They're paid by the same people. They're backed by the same people. They're protected. That's why you don't see long prison sentences for a lot of these protesters, because
Yeah.
they're backed by the very same people. The prosecutors are on the same side. The prosecutors will go hard after anybody right wing, but they'll let these people slide by because they're represented by the same lawyers that protect Antifa and BLM. It's a big network, and you're not in it. It's an absolute joke.
Can I give everybody an assignment? Please listen, guys. Go troll the shit out of them over at Republicans for Harris. I troll them at least once or twice or three times a day. Like literally, go call them out. We need to get on their helmets. Everybody needs to be on their helmets. These people are, in most of them. Let's go through the names. I was reading them off to Maurice a little earlier. And the funny thing is when you go through the names of the people involved in this group, they are not Republicans. You got one, Adam Kinzinger, former Republican. He got his feelings hurt by Trump, though, and now he's not all of a sudden. Stephanie Grisham, not a Republican. Olivia Troy, not a Republican. Most of these people used to be, except where Bill Weld is a former Republican that changed parties. He was one of the ones who stabbed Trump in the back. Chris Todd Whitman worked for Obama. Chuck Hagel also worked for Obama. Ray LaHood worked for Obama. Jeff Duncan worked for Obama. These people are not Republicans, and they're passing themselves off as former Republicans that are in this group. And a simple internet search proves that they're not Republicans. What they're counting on is that you won't go look. That's what they're counting on. They're counting on the fact that you actually won't pursue the information to be able to blow a hole in their story. That's really what it is. And I'm sure there are other groups. By the time this thing is all said and done, I wonder if any of these people that are shouting these, I mean, listen to the threats.
Let's hear it.
Reminds you a lot of J6 after certain Rayettes whispered in a certain man's ear and they started shaking gates and other things went on to happen. Well, I'll tell you what, these guys are shouting threats to the presidential nominee, vice presidential nominee, and the current vice president. Where are the police? Where are the National Guard? These domestic terrorists are outside of this place shouting threats, basically saying, we're going to get you. You can't hide. Like, Come on, guys. This is.
Well, I'll also
easiest
tell you
thing.
another reason why they do this, and because when the right does it, they can actually prosecute them and go after them. And in most cases, the right-wing people will take a plea deal because when they add terrorism onto their charges, they're going to get an extra 10 years or, whatever it is. So they take a plea deal. They have the system completely set up to entrap anybody who opposes who actually opposes them, right? Not those people, not the people that are paid to be there. It's anybody who actually opposes them are the ones who get punished, and they get punished hard. And when you start getting that line, yes, oh yeah,
made out to be a domestic terrorist, put on the Quiet Skies list. And if you don't know what the Quiet Skies list is, it's the reason why you're a little less safer when you fly today. The air marshals used to get on the flights with you and be able to, there it is. So they'd get on the flights with you and they would be the police or the official on the flight should something happen. They are usually armed and no one really knows who they are because they don't identify themselves. But the Quiet Skies program took those people from their day-to-day operations flying in those aircraft. Instead, what they're doing is they're sending them after people they deem to be a problem and J6ers. And J6ers are still getting arrested at a rate of at least 1 to 2 per day by people in this Quiet Skies program.
Yeah, I wanted to shout out to Bud South there. Yeah, most people, we're trying to get people to transfer over to Rumble. One, because it runs a lot smoother on Rumble. I've had, I don't even know how many people message me saying that every time I try to watch your live stream on X, it freezes, it kicks me out, and it almost never runs smoothly. I'm not saying that that's an X thing because I particularly I don't have that problem when I go watch other live streams. So I don't understand why it happens so much on my podcast, but I don't know. It runs smoother on Rumble. So if you go to rumble.com/the Patriots Prayer, if you want to follow and even subscribe there, you certainly can. And that'll really help us out. If there's one thing that we learned about this,
because he does love Elon, guys. Let me just tell you.
Yes.
Maurice loves Elon. Let me show you. Loves Elon.
Look at it. Look how athletic I've become, or rather still am. I can do something the Secret Service cannot do. I can traverse a sloped roof, even one on a Tesla.
So that is that guy right there is from Patriot Confederation. It's Billy, and he's going to be hosting a podcast here on the Patriots Prayer. We got a cooking show coming up too, guys. Believe it or not, we actually got a guy who's going to be, doing some tips and tricks and cooking, a Vegas chef, and then here, the entire little crew here that was out there. I mean, we had a blast. I can't wait to do it again. Dan Nunn, can't say enough good things about the guy. He'd stopped what he was doing and came out with us and spent the weekend, and it was a great time. Michaela, you, me, Dan, we had Damon, both of our wives. It was like an episode of The Real World, if just without all of the weirdness. Well, there was some weirdness, but not the kind that they have. Right.
Hey, Eddie broke his carnivore diet, but he's getting back on it, and so is his wife. They're gonna be rededicating themselves to this.
That's been established.
They fell off the bandwagon.
But check this out. So we went to a restaurant when we left. You guys left and started your way back, and we drove out to Cascade Lake because we weren't flying out till like 9:00 that night. So we stopped at this little restaurant along the riverside. They're called Riverside Restaurant. And we go in, and all of the waitresses have these on.
What's that?
Let's go, Brandon. This is their uniform. This is their uniform inside the restaurant. Idaho is now my new favorite. It used to be Utah. Now it's Idaho. Idaho is now my new favorite place to be.
Wow.
That is
Idaho's based.
So we drove out to the lake, and the girls started looking at all the gold flecks in the sand at the bedrock in one place, and they took a whole cup of this sand because I have a little panner for gold that I got here at the house. Michelle, we're going to take this home and we're going to see if this is real gold and all this kind of stuff, right? So I didn't realize it, and they were trying to send me through airport security with a cup full of sand and water. I'm like, I'm not doing this, guys. I'm not doing this. You're trying to get me tackled.
Yeah, that's it's not a great idea. So that's, if you guys don't know, that's Michaela Montgomery. She is a fascinating person and opened her podcast this weekend at the Old State Saloon. It was a very, very good podcast. It's called Conserve the Culture.
Conserve the culture.
She is one feisty woman.
One little problem with it, though, unfortunately, we had some producers that were not really versed on StreamYard, which is the software that we use to stream. And so they put, if you watch the logo up in our right hand corner, I'll do it right now. They put this logo up there on her podcast. Oof. And we love Nate. And don't get me wrong, no, but yeah. It should have been a Patriots Prayer logo. The whole thing was aired that way. But regardless, it got, between the views that it got on Maurice's page and my page, the podcast was seen more than, I think, probably, if you added it all up, well over 30,000 times, 13,000 on the restream alone. So yeah, an amazing first podcast, if any. Just absolutely amazing to get that kind of reception on your first podcast ever. And really, honestly, guys, I think that it was still undersold. I honestly, I believe it was completely undersold because we can't go anywhere. We were at the airport sitting down, waiting to go through security. People that came to see us at Old State Saloon, and she contacted us, said, "Can we come see you off?" People showed up at the airport to see us off before we went through security, just to take pictures with us and get autographs and things. It's
great. It's fantastic, man. This is
knowing you affected someone that way is absolutely just wow. Very, very
it's
wild.
An honor.
It's very much an honor, and that's why. Yeah, go ahead.
We're really hoping that we can get more done. Thanks, gorgeous.
Appreciate
you. See you in the mirror.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my wife's in pajamas, but hey, guess what? So am I. Look at. Oh, I can't. I'm wearing some Fox pajamas. I don't know.
Black ass.
Yeah. Hey, I got off of work, and man, I'll tell you what. This weekend was fantastic, but I am so tired. Actually, you know what? I got a little story that it's not that interesting, but you know what? It kind of is. So, as we were heading back, the 10-hour drive that it was, oh my gosh, it took a long time. But for one, I had a traveling buddy for a couple hours that we were cruising on the highway at speeds that may or may not have exceeded the speed limit. So that was pretty cool. But me and him traveled together for a while, and eventually it turned into construction, so I lost him. So that was kind of sad, actually. But you know, when you're on a long road trip and you got some random person that you
find somebody,
like, hey, yeah, we're gonna go in this together, and if somebody's gonna get caught, at least we have a 50-50 chance. So we're gonna, So that was a lot of fun. But the second thing is I was really frustrated at this police officer. It was a state patrolman. And if you were traveling on White Pass, headed westbound, and you're a state trooper in Washington State, I'm not a fan of you. And actually, I was really pissed at this guy because he was in the left lane going 63 miles an hour. And he was basically stopped. Like, there was a whole line of cars behind him. The speed limit is 60 on White Pass, okay? So 2-lane road, he's in the left lane going 63 miles an hour.
That's pretty specific. 63?
Yeah, he was just barely going. It's because I paced him for a little bit before I decided that, like, I'm not going to sit behind this guy because, for one, he's doing something illegal, which is impeding the flow of traffic. He's in the left lane, which is for passing purposes only. Mm-hmm. And so he was just cruising in the left lane at 63 miles an hour. And so what I did is I set my cruise control to 68. And I was like, I'm going to pass this guy on the right-hand side because he's being a nuisance. There's 12 freaking cars behind him that all want to go faster than just, the speed limit. And as I'm going past him, he freaking turns on his lights and honks his horn and raises his arms like, look, hey, what are you doing? Well, don't you see I'm a cop? Like, yes, I know you're a cop, but you're being a jackass, man. It is so crazy to me. Like, it seemed like a weird power trip that this cop had. Mm-hmm. And I was so close. I mean, I had my wife in the car, so I didn't just continue on, because if I didn't have my wife in the car, I probably would have just kept going and pull me over. That fine. Pull me over for going 8 miles an hour over this, and I will argue this in court. I'll be completely fine with it. Yeah, he's got a train of cars behind him on a freaking a power trip, causing everybody to have to go super slow, and he's driving in the left-hand lane. I don't know what his deal was, but I was frustrated for like the next 45 minutes because I was like, that cop is just on a power trip and he wants to control everybody around him. Screw that guy. God, that I'm still mad about it. Just thinking about it, I'm like, I don't like just doing things just because. And
go ahead.
When somebody has a power trip like that, it makes me want to just do the exact opposite to prove a point. But it's probably a good thing that my wife was in the car because
usually is because it keeps her from doing stupid things.
Yeah.
But yeah, trust me, stupid things end up in long prison sentences. Somebody just sent me something.
Exactly. 10 miles an hour over, especially on a freeway, on a pass, is acceptable. I've had state troopers tell me that. I've had policemen tell me that. So that's why I set it to 68. Like, in case the car is screwing up and I set it to 69 and I'm going 70, that's 10 over. That's the limit. So I set it to 68 and I was slowly moving past him in the right lane. And he still got pissed at me. Crazy. I need to find that state trooper. If you're watching, guy, I'm upset with you.
So
I wouldn't do anything, but still.
Somebody just sent me this. Watch this. Somebody just sent me this. And I want you to, guys, please tell me what's wrong with this particular thing that she's getting ready to say. Listen to this. You're going to trip. I want the other layout. Like, I want this one. I think that one's better. All right, here we go.
Donald Trump would be able to weaponize the Department of Justice to go after his political opponents. He could even turn the FBI into his own personal police force.
Who does that sound like?
That is not how it works in America.
Who's going to tell her?
That's how it works in dictatorships.
One more time. Who's going to tell her?
Donald Trump would be able to weaponize the Department of Justice.
Do they realize
are they running on
shit they say? I mean, this is ridiculous. You really just sat there and called out the game plan for the party that you back, espousing the plan that they enacted already, and this is what they've been doing, saying that you
it's
just
not the plan.
Do it.
It's not the plan. It's history. That's exactly what has happened. The FBI has tried to frame Trump several times. It's been proven. They're still targeting Donald Trump at the moment. They want to imprison him for the what do they want to imprison for again? I know that the sentencing is coming up in September. I think it is
for fraud, and that's what it's about. It's a fraud case, but they've never been able to prove the fraud. Matter of fact, the question that you just asked is the same question everyone has asked, even of the judge, because of the 444 rule that he put in place said you can find him guilty if any of these reasons that I list off for you are yes for you. So usually is he guilty of doing X, Y, Z? But that's not the way the framework of this trial was. So people really don't know what the underlying charge is for the felony or for the case or for
Nobody
any
knows.
of that. The judge don't even know. They literally don't have this spelled out in the documentation. And were they all misdemeanors? I thought they.
Yeah, no. That's why they were upgraded to felonies, is because they were all. It's like they had the underlying crime that they never specified that upgraded them from misdemeanors to felonies. That's why they were able to go past the statute of limitations, and that's why they could say he's a convicted felon. But the whole problem is he was never convicted of that unspecified underlying crime. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And it's
You want to see another joke? Check this out.
right.
You know, Kamala has been going on this I'm really black tour lately. And she's gone into record stores and bought music that is usually listened to in the black community, Coltrane, Sam Cooke, these types. She comes out with albums. No one has a damn record player anymore. Although I love albums. I grew up on albums. I love LPs. I love the sound. There's just something different about the sound. But she knows damn well that she never listened to that shit before she went in that store that day. And she invited news cameras to the record store so they could ask her what music she bought when she came out. And then she releases this.
I'm already cringing. I just know it's going to.
She just, random black baby. Look, everybody. I'm black. Look. Guys, I feel completely comfortable telling you that Kamala Harris has never in her life, in her political career, I should say, never ever claimed to be black until about, a month ago.
About that.
It was about a month ago that all that took place. Now, we're not telling you that she's not black. Dad's got some black in him, right? That's not what we're saying. We're saying is she's pandering to a group of people that she has gone after with her job as a prosecutor. She's targeted this crowd. When she was elected as a senator, she didn't say I was the first ever black woman senator, or I'm a black woman. She said no. She says I'm an Indian senator. I'm the first elected Indian woman senator, and she went down that path. Never, ever has she ever said that she's anything but that. I would love to get a hold of Kenneth Cooper. I would love to get a hold of the guy she kept, who damn near had his life taken because
if anybody knows him, reach out to us.
I want that interview. I've looked for him on the internet. I can't find the guy.
Well, I'll tell you what, your internet search is a lot better than mine because I'm like 2 steps above a retard when it comes to the internet. Like I am so inept on researching stuff. Like I can do basic searches and things like that. But when it comes to like researching people that I don't know about, that's where it's like I rely on a lot of other people for that.
I'm going to drop
a lot of things, but internet. Like I'm just not good with it, man.
I'm gonna drop a quick little thing for people. Everyone knows if you do a Google search, your search is the algorithm is gamed against you, right? Everyone knows that. They actually even admitted to the fact that you can't find anything bad about Kamala on a Google search. They even CNN did a story about it, right?
Yeah.
But let me tell you how to get around that, guys, because I know a lot of people don't know stuff like this. So this is literally how I do it. I have something called a Tor browser or a Tor browser. And in the Tor browser, it comes with its own VPN. And it comes with a list of search engines that you have never heard of in your entire life. And what it does is it creates web crawlers. And for you to know what a web crawler is it's a search that goes out on the web and finds specific phrases, and it does it even agronomical, which means it can find just portions of the words in different order, whatever, but it goes out and it finds whatever it is you are looking for without Google stifling your searches or putting the things you're looking for on the 100th page. Some people have termed the thing that I'm talking about as a dark web. There are dark web search engines in it. But if you're looking for something, you're like, damn, I used to be able to find this all the time, and now I can't anymore. Go download the Tor browser, Tor. Go get it. It's well worth the money. I promise you, the way you search the internet and everything will be completely changed. You'll find everything you're looking for.
Bud says, is it like Kayak for internet searches?
It's you can be very specific with if you have a specific search engine within it you can use, or you can just check off a litany of search engines within it and do one search and it goes out and it searches them all. So yes, in that way it is like Kayak, right? But it's got a VPN built in, and it's got these search engines are not ones that you can just get to without a VPN, and that VPN has got an encryption key that allows you to use them that's only inside of the Tor browser itself. So I'm telling you, it's great.
I've never felt the need to deep dive into that because I've always known people that can do things like that. That's one of the better things about.
That's why I don't buy a boat. I got a friend with a boat.
Exactly. Right. It's the same thing. Like I've done a lot of favors for my friends as far as like fixing their car or, putting things like that. Right. Just favors. And then when I need like a tech issue solved, I can call them up and they figure it out, and they can do the searches and they can do like the deep dives into things like that. So it's helpful to have friends like that. But I mean, internet, that stuff, I don't think that's ever going to be for me because I'm not interested in it. I know people that know people and they can help me out, and I'm good with that. So.
Yeah,
I'll just leave it at that.
Everyone's got their strengths. I'm not changing a tire. Let me just tell you, not the way he does it. Like if I don't have the whole spare and I'm just not putting just lug nuts on, I'm calling somebody because I'm not doing it. So we all have our strengths. I'm definitely not. Yeah, I'm not getting dirty. Sorry. I did that for a while.
I'm always dirty. It's just like you guys have no idea what it took to like try to be clean for this weekend, like showing up in person and trying to get like all this shit off my hands. That takes a long time, man. Hey, we didn't really get to the sponsor today. Because we kind of got.
Let's do it real quick.
Everybody
loves them. Everybody loves these guys, and I definitely always want to give them a shine whenever we can. And guys, I'm gonna actually tell you we have another sponsor coming on board with Miracle Healing Therapy, and these guys are amazing, and they put a hold on it right now until the 30th, and they're going to be sponsoring us from that point forward. But guys, when I tell you the product that they're selling is absolutely amazing, it's damn cool, very cool. Here is, though, in the meantime, our friends, family, you might as well say, these guys have helped us so much. Smoking Gun Coffee, guys. And we'll see you right after the commercial.
Born in the coastal plains of South Texas, Smoking Gun Coffee is founded by combat veterans that know exactly what a cup of coffee needs to taste like. Run by father and son, each coffee bean is perfected, roasted at 500 degrees, and cooled with a Gulf Coast breeze. Smoking Gun Coffee hand makes and bags each ounce of coffee for maximum customer satisfaction. With every purchase, 10% goes back to organizations that help veterans and local communities. That's Texas made, one bag at a time. To find out more, go to www.smokingguncoffee.com.
Guys, go ahead.
This is actually completely separate, but I was just browsing through my things. But if you guys go to smokingguncoffee.com, use discount code Native Patriot, you can get 10% off, or you can sign up and get into the coffee club, which is you get 4 bags of coffee a month, which is, I mean, trust me when I say this, coffee's great. It's literally the only thing I drink now. Oh, it's bomb. You can join the coffee club. You don't have to order it over and over again, and they ship it to your door. It's super easy, super good. But on a separate note, completely unrelated. Check this out. I was just browsing through my notifications here, and I saw this gem, this beautiful thing right here. So I get this quite often. It's just one of the posts I made like right before we went on the show, because I've been irritated with this Republican Democrat talk, right? Basically saying that I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat, and you guys should stop being that too. Just be I'm a God-fearing patriot, and I care about the founding of the country, the Constitution itself, and respecting God. And so I don't normally respond to people like this, because it's like, obviously they've never done any research, and this is like a kind of gotcha moment, right? So I can't read that to you. If you guys can't see it, that's unfortunate. I'm not going to read out that crazy tag or handle. But he says, okay, native, if you are for the U.S. Constitution, you'd better not be accepting reparations payments for being an American Indian. There's no power in the U.S. Constitution for Congress to do that, in my honest opinion. Okay, like I don't agree with that. I think that reservations and natives getting those reparations in form of a payment has just become another corporation, a little mini government to become corrupt. And the reservations, as of right now, are socialist hellholes, and they have been for a long time. And they entrap people in those hellholes. And my brother in and out of jail for over a decade. My dad was hooked on drugs for many, many years, many decades actually. And the reservation gave him a bunch of free methadone in between his fixes to keep him on it. They keep their people in poverty so the tribal leaders can get their money. It's sickening. And no, I don't receive any of that money at all. In fact, they told me that I needed to live on their reservation for 5 years in order to enroll, regardless of blood content, by the way, because... So this right here, that's Chief Martin Morning Cloud Sampson. Okay, that's my great-grandfather. And this right here, that's my aunt. Okay? That... I mean, I can't prove to you my bloodline without doxing myself, but in all reality, like I have enough blood to be in the tribe, but they don't care about that. They're like, oh, you got to live on the reservation for 5 years. I'm not going to live on their drug-infested, gang-infiltrated reservation. I'm not doing that. I've built a life elsewhere. I would love to work with them and help them out, but they have these stupid standards because I refuse to be a victim, and I refuse to be part of that particular socialist hellhole that they've created there. They say that I'm not good enough to be in their tribe. So fine, fuck them. I'll go do other things. I'll go build a life out here. That's one of the reasons why I created the Tribe of Patriots, because I believe that I have more kinship with God-fearing Americans in this country, all across the country, rather than just because I'm blood related to some people. I don't care about that as much because they've done nothing for me. They've done nothing for my family. I had 2 uncles overdose on drugs. Actually, no, that's not true. I had 1 uncle overdose. The second uncle was trying to steal copper off of power lines, and he screwed up and he electrocuted himself to death.
That's common. That's very common.
What the fuck have they ever done for me or my family? They haven't, and as far as I can tell, they haven't done shit except for cause this insane socialist hellhole that they think is like a good thing. Like, oh, we're getting reparations for the white man treating us so bad. You're treating your own people bad, man. So I don't need them. I'm never going to go to them and beg them for a membership. I don't care about that. I never will. I will not beg anybody for a membership. I don't even care if it was Donald Trump. I'm not going to beg him for anything. If he wants to do something, that's fine. But, geez, I mean, these kind of things right here where they start taking out, like, this guy obviously has no idea who I am or what I promote. Like, yes, I'm proud of my native heritage. I think I think it's an incredibly cool history. But there should be no benefit from it, and there should be no crutch from it. Right? Yeah. It's the same shit that I said this weekend, because I promote the same thing all the time, that we should have the overarching identity of American. That should be what bonds us. It's not your skin color.
Yeah.
Every time we've ever gone down that road in history, it ends in race wars. It ends in slavery. It ends in misery.
I gotten myself in trouble for saying stuff like that. I got family that are, mixed blood, Filipino, and obviously, my dad is Native American as well, and my mom was German and Irish. I end up with the white skin. You're half white and half Native, and you end up with the black hair. It just happens that way. We've been in a few instances where people try to do that, not realizing that I'm Native and say off the cuff shit, and they're completely wrong. But it like you, it's like, this is the reason why I don't tout it, right? Because it really doesn't matter. I'm Eddie. I don't give a fuck if I'm purple. It doesn't matter. I'm Eddie, and everything that I get in this world are things that I earn. It's meritorious. If I've worked for it, I earn it. I can't tell you how many times when people figure out, that's your dad, and they see the picture. You're a Native. Why don't you sign up and get this? No, dude. No, I don't want none of that. I don't want none. If I've earned it, I earned it. And I never played the victim mentality. Even after my prison sentence years ago, when I stepped out with nothing, no money, no house, no car, no job, no nothing. I didn't go get on any kind of subsidy for help or anything like that. I went and got a job. I went and got myself into a program and picked myself up by my bootstraps. Within 3 weeks of walking out of prison, I was in a job making 6 figures. And anyone can do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's incredible. And the reason that you did that is because you decided, you made the decision in your mind.
Yeah.
Right. And then you went for it. That's completely different than trapping these natives on the reservation and telling them that that all the problems you see on the reservation, the life you're living, is the problem of the white man outside these walls. The only safe place is in here, but it's the white man's fault that we have gangs roaming in the streets, that all of your aunts and uncles have been alcoholics and they've screwed up their entire lives because they get incredibly cheap housing and money every single month. You guys really believe that money will solve the problem? Hell no. Money will give them free alcohol. Money for cheap housing, money's going to give them free alcohol or to buy more cocaine or meth or whatever the hell they're going to buy. Money doesn't solve it.
Money makes you more of what you already are. If you're a drug addict, you're going to be a bigger drug addict. If you're an asshole, you're going to be a bigger asshole. If you are just whatever it is that it is in your life, when you apply money to it, it's just more of that. So this is why people should never just be handed anything. That stimulus check shit, there was so much fraud going on when that happened. It wasn't even funny. But back to the other thing we were talking about, Dan Nunn happened to be present. We were driving back and forth to the old state. So we were coming to get you. You had called and you guys went down to the Capitol with Adam and everybody. And I got a call from prison, and it was on the car speaker, right? And Dan and these guys were in the car and they heard it and they're like, "Wow, man!" Because they didn't realize, I still communicate, I still take care. Listen, there was guys in there that gave me advice that changed my life, and as a result, to this day, these people don't have any family. They have no one to take care of them in there. And guess what? Eddie takes care of them. I will send them money, whatever I can afford each month, to make sure they have soap and things like that they need, because the prison doesn't give you any of that stuff. If you don't know, it doesn't give you any of that. And I got them into programs through Hope for Prisoners, where I can get prisoners that actually earn it or deserve it moved from one facility to another, so they get a head start, so that by the time they hit the street, they can get jobs. And then I actually facilitate, as to the best of my ability, them finding those jobs, so that they don't reoffend and go back to prison. I go up every year with groups of men that we sponsor in some way, shape, or form, or call or facilitate, to get them up on the mountain. I was baptized with 5 people that were out of prison no less than 10 days about 3 weeks ago. Baptized by John Ponder, the one that was pardoned by Donald Trump. Guys, when we talked about this weekend about being the change you want to see, that's real. I don't just come on here and do this on Mondays and Wednesdays and on the weekend and just talk to you about what I think you should do. I literally do it. I'm in my community. I'm communicating with people. I'm trying to help to the best of my ability. I'm working the polls. I hope that a lot of you have applied in your prospective states to be poll watchers, to be ballot counters, or something. Because if we're not in the mix, guys, in there, we're just handing this stuff away. We saw what happened before. There were so many, even if they weren't true, right? I don't know specifics. I'm on YouTube. But even if that stuff wasn't exactly on the level, we know that it can be a fair process if we're involved in it. So go get involved in it. It's everybody can get involved. You can go to your state website and the applications are there, and they have to actually hire so many people, Republican and so many Democrat. And I actually just got a call from Trump Force, who had the lawyers call and force my application through because they didn't call me back. And it seemed as though that they were intentionally not calling Republicans who put in applications. So Trump Force is the election side, the election integrity side of Trump's campaign. And these guys are trying to get people involved in the election. So they actually had lawyers call on my behalf to say, hey, he put in 2 applications this long ago. Why hasn't he been called back? And I got a call back within 3 days. So guys, yeah, man, it's important to go be a part of it, not just want the change and express an idea on here, but go out there and do something. Go be a part of it.
One of the reasons why our motto, maybe it's not our motto, but we say it often, is that you should embody the values that you wish to see in this world.
Yeah.
Because you cannot expect others to do what you want, right? You have to live it. You have to inspire. And if you're not doing that, then it's just a pipe dream, and it will always be. The change isn't going to come from the politicians. You can vote Trump in, but if everybody just decides that, problem solved, back to my own house, and I'm going to sit here and not do anything for my community or for my family, like they've attacked and destroyed the nuclear family. They removed God from our institutions. The problems are so much deeper than what the politicians can handle.
Oh, yeah.
Politicians will only ever treat the symptoms, never the
What
cause.
is the population? How much is the population of the United States?
330 some odd million.
Right. So 330 million, whatever, right?
Yeah.
You have less than 10% of that as federal employees. So are you telling me that less than 10% of our population is able to be at fault for what the other 90% does? It's not a fact. Yeah, you can live in the worst hellhole there is. It could be a paradise if you make it that. When I was younger, I lived in Baltimore, Maryland. I know Pops knows where I'm from. And I come from a little place called Pigtown. It was not a nice place. It was a damn what we considered to be a hellhole back then. But the difference is when we were there, when we were younger, it was the funnest thing in the world. We didn't know we were poor. We didn't know things were bad. We played in the woods and rode our bikes and did our skateboarding thing and jumped ramps and played Nintendo. It was heaven to us, but our culture was different. This one today, it's a culture of depravity. It's a culture of victimhood. It's a culture of I'm owed something just by right of being born. I didn't have to work for it. I've had people, one of my friends growing up, his name is Timothy Reynolds, and he was the one that you guys saw on the news that was shot by the squeegee boy in Baltimore because they broke his windshield wiper when he told them he didn't want them to touch his car, and they intentionally broke his windshield wiper. When he got out of his car, a 14-year-old kid ran over to a backpack, got a gun, and shot him 5 times in the back of the head. This guy worked his way out of Baltimore. He was in our neighborhood. He went to engineering school, went on to do very well for himself, had children, had a great life, but he loved coming back into the city and remembering where he came from and hanging out with his old friends and doing this type of thing. And listen, sometimes you just can't go home, guys. It's sad. it's sad, but
it's not Biden's fault that divorce rates are up. It's not Biden's fault that abortions are up. That's not Biden's fault. No.
He doesn't make the decisions.
It's not.
He doesn't make the
problem
decision
is
to do the
deeper.
abortion. Yeah.
The problem is deeper. The fact that he's watching over it and he's encouraging it, that is a problem. But he's not the problem.
He exacerbates the issue.
Yes.
He exacerbates the issue. Just like the trans issue. They grew at a rate of 1% to 2% historically, all the way up until 2 years ago.
But hold on. I got a point here. He's a problem, not the problem, right? The problem is the fact that we removed God from marriage and that we decided that women need to be working as much as men for money instead of valuing the work that women do. Like my wife.
What do you think the lie? What's the lie that was told to women to make them want to have that, be like that? What was the lie?
That in order to be equal to men, they have to be men in the way that they provide for a family or provide money for their husband. The lie was that they are unequal to men. The lie is that their value is in earning money. That's the big lie.
See,
earning money doesn't mean shit. Earning money.
True. Check this out, though, Maurice. All that's true. I believe everything you just said is true. But also, wouldn't you consider the fact that they're told that that the patriarch is overarching and it's like they are subservient, like they're less than and all that. So they believe going out into the world and earning their own living and being equal to a man on a pay rate, in a life in you know what I mean, and just in the secular world, working whatever position they hold at that company, whatever that is where they draw their self-worth from. And now today,
the value of a woman has been shifted from being literally creating more human beings and raising them to be good people. The value is shifted from that to the standards of a man. Okay,
we need good mothers back. We need mothers back, man. We need mothers back. Listen, I spent some time.
We also need men to support them. That's the thing.
That's it. That's it.
Is that we're not a union under God anymore. Okay, so it stems back to God every time. In 1962, when the Supreme Court made the decision to remove God from all of our institutions under from a letter written by Thomas Jefferson, the separation of church and state, they used that letter out of context.
They misinterpreted
to say, oh, absolutely. It was the exact opposite of what he was actually saying in that letter. But they took that little snippet and used it to completely ruin our country. By removing God, we now we no longer say that a marriage is between a man and a woman in a covenant under God. We now say that it's between two people in love, which doesn't make any sense at all.
We won't even define what gender those people are.
So, so men don't support their women anymore. They don't step, like, if they do get a woman pregnant, the only reason that she has the option for an abortion is because the man doesn't want to take responsibility. Yet there are some very few cases where the man is like, please don't get an abortion. And she's like, no, I'm definitely going to get an abortion. Okay, that's insanely rare. It's wrong, but it's rare. Okay? Most of the time, the man has no value or he has no way to provide for her. And so the decision is made that she's going to go get an abortion because she can't rely on that man who impregnated her. That's
but here's
the problem.
Thing, though. Do we go through the streets and find people that are poor, go into poor communities and call them drains on society and just start killing them too? Because that's essentially what that is. And
yes, it is. It's exactly what it is.
If we say to someone, hey, you just walked away from this woman who just had this baby, you're a complete POS deadbeat, you're no good, blah, blah, blah. And that's how a man is treated when he doesn't want the child. And that's how he's looked at. But when the woman doesn't want the child and she goes so far as to abort the birth and kill the baby, it's her choice. It's her body. She's brave. And it's a double standard. And it's a double standard.
I don't even care about that. Fuck that guy. He should be chastised every single time.
They're
It
equal.
is his job. No, it's not. Women need the support of a man. That the man impregnates a woman, and she needs his support. She needs his leadership. The Bible says the man is not the head of his household. The Bible says the man is the head of his spouse. That is very important when you take into context what's happening now, because it takes a man, obviously, to get a woman pregnant. And if he is not willing, if he is not able, if he is not expected to take care of her in every single way, then of course the woman's going to go off and get an abortion. Why wouldn't she? She doesn't have anybody to take care of her. It is the man's fault, and he should be chastised every single time. And
yeah,
although
but
the woman
should
wrong,
also be chastised if she kills that baby.
Yes,
she
but
goes through
I see her more as a victim of us letting go of our responsibility as men to be the leaders of our spouse. It is our responsibility. It is my responsibility to lead my wife, to protect her, to guide her, to make sure that I have a plan for the future, to make sure that I provide a living for her. That's my job. It's my responsibility.
Your relationship is more one of, like mine and my wife's, more harmonious. You have roles, and you adhere to those roles. And those roles are the ones that were laid out for you, that have been around traditionally. I don't care what culture you're from in the world. It doesn't matter even what religion you belong to. Typically, the man is the head of the household. He's the breadwinner. He's the earner. He's the guy that goes out and works. And the woman takes care of the home, raises the children. What's the old saying? You give a woman a house, she makes a home. You give a woman meat, she makes a meal. Like these are the there's a reason why, and it doesn't make a woman less than to do that. It's a woman who compliments a man. When a woman plays her role right, there's so much peace and happiness and harmonious in a home. It just is. And when a man does what he's supposed to do, that woman has the peace to be able to be who she is. The deception on women
is that they have to take the leadership role.
Or they're being ruled, or less than, or slave, or whatever like that. This is why the Bible says submit to one another. You have to trust someone enough to be able to say, he's not demanding, or he's not forcing me to do these things. He's asking me, and I do them because I love him, not because he's my boss and telling me what to do, which is the same reason he goes out there and busts his ass to make sure that you have all the things that you need. Now, I know in this world, it's a little harder for a man to go to work and a woman to stay home. It's extremely hard. I don't have that. We're working toward that now.
I have $800 in my bank account right now, right? I don't get paid until Friday. There's still bills coming up. We still have to go to the grocery shopping, okay? I've lived paycheck to paycheck for years because we do this. And with inflation getting so much worse, like there were times, 1 year ago, I was literally going negative every other week because I wasn't making enough money. And luckily, my bank was able to create that gap. But we sacrifice a lot of things in order to have her stay at home. Like we could make a lot more money if we decided that she should go to work. But why should she have to go work for some corporation? It bugs the hell out of me. Like her value is being a mother here. That's the best thing she can do as a woman is to provide for the household. She to me has way more value doing that than if she made $150,000 or $200,000. $1 million. You
know how much peace is worth? This peace of mind and a peace that's
trust.
in the household.
Peace, trust, reliability. She's building something here that is going to last a lifetime. Money is fleeting. They know money will come and go. Who cares?
That is the foundation of our country, or it used to be. It was the family. Yeah. They knew when they attacked the family with feminism, with this false patriarchy and male bravado being toxic and all that kind of stuff. Like, do you see? I mean, I saw the post you put out earlier, and you said it was a school bus full of vegan dudes, and it was essentially, and you were dead on. You were dead on, because these are the people. Go to any Kamala Harris event, anyone. It doesn't matter where you go. It's revenge of the nerds. All those guys that you teased, if you're in your, like me, or Gen X or whatever, all those guys you teased in school when you're growing up, all the guys got their ass kicked, and, you know, pocket protectors and tape in the middle of their glasses. Those guys are running the damn world now. That's who's doing this shit. That's who's voting for Kamala. They know they're depraved, so they want to vote people in who are also depraved, so that their lifestyle is not affected by legislation that would otherwise call them out for being depraved. There it is. That's the post you put up.
Yep. So I basically said, if you asked AI to make a visual representation of a beta male cuck in his natural habitat, these gentlemen would be it. I didn't focus on the women because I like I was saying earlier, I don't see the women as a problem. I see it as a failing of men. But frail, weak, squishy, all trying to get past the friend zone. Check this out, guys.
Guys, we're going to the Harris Walz rally. Woo!
Every single one of them. Never lifted a weight in their life. Never held a shovel. All squishy, all frail. Not a masculine man in sight. Okay, I can't watch the whole thing. But, I mean, you guys get the gist of it.
These guys are not going to be the ones fighting our wars. They're not going to be the ones building our bridges. They're not going to be the ones changing our tires, building our homes, laying out new infrastructure. These are not going to be the guy changing the light bulb on top of the Empire State Building. They're not going to be the ones doing work underwater welding. They're not. These people right here, if that's what we're breeding, it's over. You might as well learn.
They
to
don't
speak
build
Chinese.
society.
No,
They do not build societies.
Their lifestyle that the left is pushing on us is one that leads to death and no repopulation. And that's why they're
perfect
pushing.
here. Nurturing as a woman, as a wife, as a mother is a better investment than working for a corporation, because you can always lose money. Back in 2008, my wife's family, like, they lost their house basically when the economy crashed, and they were like living large, right? If they had put themselves in a different situation, it could have been. I don't want to bash them, because I'm not necessarily blaming them for having a 2-income household, because I understand why people do it. I just think it's wrong. Maybe I'm the wrong one, but I feel like I make a lot of sense. And I know I'm not perfect. I know that for a fact. But I look out into society and I see men running away from children. I see promiscuousness as being the way to be. I see women wanting abortions because they don't have good men in their lives. And I really think that it is the failure of men to stand up for their own and to protect women. We are exploiting women in every single way. There's literally men infiltrating their sports in the Olympics, beating the shit out of them and winning the gold medal, saying that I'm actually a woman.
Not catching a domestic at all. If that same guy, that same exact dude, would have hit her outside of the ring, it would have been a charge. Maybe. Who knows? But I got one more I wanted to bring up, because this is great. This is great. Swifties for Trump.
Hell yeah. I know a lot of them.
She lost her damn mind over this. Guys, how awesome is it to see this brain dead idiot? The reason why people make fun of blonde hair people is because of people like Swift.
You know what? I got a cousin that that's more talented than Taylor Swift, loves Taylor Swift, but is for Trump. And actually, I'm going to be doing a video with her, and it's going to blow everybody's minds. and I hope that it gets the attention that it deserves.
Are you saying that she's a singer?
Oh yeah,
She's a singer. Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Incredibly talented, just this hidden gem. And I came up with something today actually, and sent it to her. She likes the idea, so we're actually going to be doing a video here pretty soon, and I want to do it right, and I want to reveal her to the world in a way where I think she could be like Oliver Anthony times 5. I mean, she has incredible singing talent. She is absolutely adorable, and I just think that it's going to be great.
Can we do like a Patriots Prayers Got Talent and have a bunch of people, submit here?
Hey, maybe. Yeah. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, but I think we're going to schedule this fairly soon. I have an idea of how to do it, and I think it's going to work. I think that she should go viral. Maybe I'm just wrong, but I don't think I am. I think it's something that she's gonna capture the hearts and minds of many people, and it'll be great.
I happen to know people in the industry, so if she's really that good, I wouldn't mind passing something along.
She's incredibly. She is absolutely incredibly talented, and yeah, it's gonna be.
I
cool.
tell you what, guys.
At minimum, it'll be really cool. Just because. Why not?
I tell you what, guys. If you want to do that, I don't mind. We'll give you 2 weeks, not the next Monday, but the Monday after. All of the videos that we collected, that you send me a link. If you got a YouTube channel, send me the YouTube link. Upload yourself doing something, whatever your talent is. If you're a singer, comedy, whatever it is, and we'll play them on here, and we'll have everyone vote on it. I think that would be that would be fun, dude. It would be extremely fun.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it would be.
You guys want to send us cool videos? We'll play them. We will absolutely. If you want to go make a jackass out of yourself on a video and do something,
don't do stupid shit.
Don't
do
do
something
it.
cool.
Don't do it.
No dumb shit. If you're gonna do something, do it well, and then send it to us. I don't want to see some dumbass riding a cart off a roof being like, "Oh, Jackass 3.0." No, that's dumb. I'm over it.
Do not suplex your buddy through a table made on fire. Don't do that at all.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh,
But
great.
anyway, that would be it would be really cool to do that, to have like maybe a once a month deal where we just play our supporters videos that they send in to us. But it's got to be yours, guys. Don't send me videos of somebody else. I want you. It's got to be you, right? That's what I want to see. I want to see you. I have one shirt left, guys, and here's the shirt. There's only one left from the event, and I kept it. And I had planned on sending it out to Leslie. She sent me her address a while back, and I wanted to get her a shirt, and I wanted to get you one from the event, Leslie. So I kept it for you. I got you. Marty's everything okay there? Let me do this while he's on the phone. So I've been going through some of the headlines, and I showed you guys earlier, the Republicans for Harris and all these groups are subversive. They're not real. It's all optics, and it's right before the election. And we believe they're setting up an event where, one of these people try to garner sympathy for something, a threat that's been levied against them, or an action that eventually will be taken that they set up themselves, so that they can get the kind of sympathy vote that they expect that Trump got. But Trump's was actually real. Guy got shot for you, for me, stood up, put his fist in the air with the American flag in the background and yelled, "Fight." So that's what we've been doing ever since. We're fighting. That's what this is. It's fighting. That's what going to the polls are. It's fighting. So guys, if you're not taking part, I'm going to say it again, take part. If you're not supporting any one of these guys, or you're not doing something yourself, support someone who actually will. Guys, we were able to go up to this event this weekend in Eagle, Idaho, because of the support of our listeners, people that buy our merchandise, people that subscribe and donate to what we're doing. And we use that money for, like I said, we went to the rally in Atlanta. We've gone to Detroit together. We just got back from Eagle, Idaho. Those are things that you are supporting. So guys, if you can be a supporter, we ask that you become a supporter. Click that little subscribe button right there on the Rumble channel and sign up. You can also go join our locals page as well. So guys, either one of those things would be great, and we would love you forever for it.
Hey, Bud, we're heading out as well, man. We're getting ready to wrap it up. Trust me, Eddie and I are both exhausted. We ran off like a couple hours of sleep each night this entire weekend and then worked all day today. And we're like, oh, yeah, it's Monday. We have a podcast.
And we drank. We drank a little bit. And then a little bit more. And then a little bit more. And then a little bit more.
Shh. It was
but
good
all
fun,
the liquor stores in Eagle, Idaho close at 9 o'clock, guys.
Yeah,
it's a little wild.
Hey, if you guys can, I don't know what Eddie was saying because I had a work call, but if you can, smash the like button if you're on Rumble. If you haven't followed us on Rumble, please follow us there. Share it if you can. I mean, I feel like this episode was pretty good. We went through a couple good things. So
Just Pray became a supporter. So Just Pray, guys, we salute you, brother.
Hey, thank you, Just Pray.
Well, welcome to the tribe of Patriots, brother. We really do appreciate that. We appreciate all of our supporters. In McGroin Nation, you guys, we can't say enough good about you. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. We are more than willing to have one of you guys come up on the show. Leslie, I know, Leslie, you don't want to do it. I get it. I'm not going to pressure you. But Dragon, you're more than welcome at any point in time to hit us up. Support our rights, too. Any one of you guys. You guys ever want to do a little feature, a little segment on the show, let us know. And we'll make that happen for sure, because we appreciate all the support you guys have given us. We appreciate all the support, not only that you give us, but that you give Sean Farish, that you give Dan Nunn, that you give Dan Bongino, and the whole thing. What you guys are doing is so important by supporting other Patriots. And that's what we keep telling these guys. This is the fight. And it works if we all get involved. And that's what you guys are doing. That's why it's so important. That's why we respect you so much.
Yeah, God bless you guys.
Hey,
you guys, time for bed.
Put Anita in touch with me. I've reached out before, but I don't know. It's hard. I'm busy too. So Leslie has my phone number. Shoot it to Anita. Have her give me a ring. I would be more than happy to have Anita on the show. Yeah, make it happen, you guys. As usual.
Castle.
Yeah, and Just Pray once again, brother. Thank you so much. For becoming a supporter, and you joined the ranks with a lot of other good Patriots when you did. So as usual, the silent majority, you need to stop being silent and stand your ground. We'll see you next time on the Patriots Prayer Podcast, guys. Have a great one.
This is the Patriots Prayer Podcast. It's a tremendous show, one of the greatest shows in the history of the world.
This is Bryson Gray, and you are watching the Patriots Prayer.
Soon on the Patriots Prayer Network. Thank you all.
America's falling, they all say. Gather the faithful now and pray. The Patriots Prayer. The Patriots Prayer. All the wicks are trimmed, oil is filled to the brim. I haven't changed yet, some